Here with actress and humanitarian
Thank you.
Claudia Wells, and she is here this weekend in Louisville, Texas for the Dallas Comic Show and Fantasy Festival.
Yes.
You'll be here Saturday and Sunday to
Saturday
greet
and
your fans.
Sunday, yes,
Great.
and
Awesome.
Saturday night.
And Saturday night at the Alamo Drafthouse.
That's right.
Right, for the Q&A and the screening of Back to the Future.
Yep, and I'll be signing there also.
Awesome. Yep. So Back to the Future fans, you have a great weekend ahead of you right here in Louisville, Texas. So I'm thrilled to be here with
Thank you.
and I know your fans are looking forward to seeing you. So first question, how does a child born in Malaysia end up with Robert Stack on Strikeforce and also on Herbie the Love Bug?
I was actually born in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and I just got back from Singapore 2 days ago. So I went to Malaysia for the first time since I was 7 weeks old, about a week ago.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I've been wanting to do that all my life. It was a homecoming. I can't even tell you how exciting it was. That's not the answer to your question.
Did you see family?
No. Okay, so my father's he researches tropical diseases. He's a parasitologist, and he was the head. He started the joint medical program between UC Berkeley and UCSF.
Oh, okay.
So he was in Malaysia researching tropical diseases, and my mom and dad lived there for 2.5 years. And then I was born, and as soon as I was old enough to fly, they went back to San Francisco. So my first time going back since I was 7 weeks old was a week ago.
Wow. So of course you don't remember that, but
I don't, but it felt like I was home.
yeah. Lower your mic just a tad.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay,
All
so
good.
I'd always wanted to be an actress. I knew since I was 3 years old I was going to be an actress. And I did everything I needed to convince my mom of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we spoke briefly before the interview started about Strikeforce with
Yes.
Robert Stack, and
Yes.
that was one of your first roles after Family.
Yes.
And what are your memories of working with Robert Stack? And was that a juicy, meaty, bad girl role, did you think at the time?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I had to call my pediatrician in San Francisco and ask, what are the physical symptoms of being on drugs? So I knew how to act it. And he was
Right.
like, your mouth gets dry and you get jittery, and because it was such a big deal to me.
Yeah.
That was my first major role after moving to Los Angeles when I was just shy of 14. And that was when I was about 14 and a half.
Well, you were very convincing from what I saw
Thank
in
you.
the episode, which was fantastic. So was it something that your parents had any concern about you doing a role like that at all?
I lived with my mom. My dad was in San Francisco,
Okay.
so he didn't have a part in that.
Okay.
And no, I wanted to act so badly that that's it. There was no
Yeah.
discussion. I was going to be an actress.
Yeah.
And that audition, I walked in and every little starlet in town was there. The hallways were full, the stairway was full, and I walked in like, whoa, there's a lot of girls here. And these girls had been acting since they were like 6 years old, 8 years old. And the scene was me getting to the front door with a gun, crying, passing out, and being lifted up by Robert Stack. That was my audition scene.
Powerful.
Yeah, and I remember I was thinking about what would happen if my Stanley, my German Shepherd, what would happen if he died? And that's what I was thinking in that scene. And then and there was tons of people, there was the producer and director and everyone. And then when I was finished with the scene, the casting director said, but can Robert pick her up? And I had no idea what they were talking about. I didn't know Robert Stack from Adam. And so he picked me up and said, well, she feels light enough. I think he could pick her up. And I got the part.
Wow. So you have your love of your dog Stanley to
thank
for getting your career.
And
really.
Dr. Patton in San Francisco for telling me what people are like when they're on drugs.
Wow, that's amazing. So Herbie the Love Bug.
Yes.
You were in 5 episodes of that, I believe.
However
from what
many
I've
they
seen.
did. I think it was a pilot and then picked up for 5.
Okay, if you
Yeah,
say so.
with
And
Dean Jones.
Yeah. So was that a fun?
That was
job?
a life-changing job, literally. So when I did that, Dean talked to me. He would pull me aside every single day and talk to me about God, talk to me about Jesus, talk to me about the Holy Spirit, talk to me about discernment. And he didn't do that with anyone else. Literally, when we weren't shooting or eating, he pulled me on the grass and said, come on, sit down, I need to talk to you. And then on Sundays, he and his wife met me and my mom at their church, and we went to church together, and then went out to brunch afterwards. Excuse me. I literally became Christian because of that movie, because of that series and my relationship with Dean and him talking about God to me. It changed my life forever.
Yeah, that's impactful.
They gave me my first Bible, him and Lori Jones, his wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And he didn't do that with anyone else on set.
Wow, I'm so glad we talked about that. That's amazing. So you played a teenage drug dealer in Strikeforce, and which I thought was amazing. Now let's fast forward to Stop the Madness video, where you were doing the opposite. You were basically in a video promoting anti drugs and stay clean.
Yeah, and it was when videos were just starting. It was done by the Entertainment Industry Council, and actually. What was his name? The regular on Strikeforce was on the council, and he's the one who recommended me for it.
Is that right?
Oh, I can't think of his name. It wasn't Dorian Harwood. It was. I'm wrong. On Simon and Simon. It was one of the regulars on Simon and Simon.
Okay.
I played a drug addict on Simon and Simon also.
I missed that one. Okay, darn. Okay.
Yeah, it was it was called Slither. It was Gerald McCraney's directorial debut with Jameson Parker. And it was one of my favorite parts I've ever had. And so...
Can we watch it after the interview together? Let's watch it together.
You want to?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
I'm in 45 minutes of it.
Yeah?
But it's awesome. It was really one of my favorite parts. So one of the leads in that, he was one of the regulars, recommended me to the Entertainment Industry Council. So I ended up starring in Stop the Madness, playing a drug addict who cleans up. And we actually filmed at the White House with Nancy Reagan.
Well, I didn't know you were there with Nancy. That's wild.
I was standing there singing with her.
Okay, that didn't connect with me. I'm somehow
Because I was in that pretty dress, and I wasn't playing like the rough and tough drug addict anymore.
Wow.
I changed clothes in the White House dining room because I had to change quickly, and they just held up like a coat or something, and I changed clothes in the dining room.
Wow.
I had a whole tour of the White House with the secretary, and he's like, "Don't tell anyone. Come on." And I did this.
Did you eat dinner with Ronald Reagan and his chimp?
He was busy.
Oh.
But he and his wife sent my mom a birthday card because I asked the secretary if he would make sure that happened.
Okay.
That
cool.
was
You still have that?
No.
Oh, that's okay. I won't hold it against you.
She was happy when she got it, though. Okay. That was a really big deal, though. And everyone was in that.
Oh,
in
yeah,
fact,
Whitney Houston and
Arnold Schwarzenegger was the garbage man.
I saw that.
And what was I going to say?
New Edition was in there.
Yeah, they were in
artists.
there. A bunch of people.
Yeah.
I think Janet Jackson might have been in there.
Oh, one of the break-in stars was in.
Boogaloo Shrimp. Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Oh.
In the scene when I'm like sad and like this,
Yeah.
in the corner of a big area, that was where they filmed Enchantment Under the Sea, the dance.
No way.
Yes, a year later.
Thank you for showing me something that I would never have expected you to say. That's awesome.
I'm very good at that.
Have you ever divulged that to anyone before?
Maybe once.
Maybe once?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm your second.
You
okay.
are.
So would you like to divulge anything to SCNS Live and your fans that you've never divulged before about your career? Is there anything that you would like to say?
I was positive I was going to get Adventures in Babysitting because I was a professional babysitter since I was 7 years old. I thought I was a shoo-in. Yeah, that's funny.
Did you show them your resume? Did you have references?
No, I should have. I should have.
Maybe that would have worked.
But it was down to me and Elizabeth Shue and Phoebe
Yeah.
Cates. But I was shocked I didn't get it because I'm actually a professional babysitter.
Well.
And I babysat for Boss Skaggs' kids, our son, actually, when I was 9. He was our neighbor.
Well, I guess if you're going to lose to somebody, Elizabeth is a class act to lose to.
Right?
So
And then
not a
she
bad-
got my part in Back to the Future, so it was perfect.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Isn't it weird how life works? That's fun.
And Phoebe Cates was the other one that almost got it, and I did her part in Fast Times, the TV series version of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
It's very
wow,
strange,
it's
right?
weird how those circles work. That's crazy. I did see a few of your clips on YouTube from the Fast Times at Ridgemont TV series, and I was I was loving the fashions, you know.
I know, right?
I love that stuff.
And Dr. McDreamy was in that. He played Damone.
Patrick Dempsey.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And Ray Walston.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was in the film Mr. Hand.
Yes.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah. Okay, so let's ramp up this interview to 88 miles per hour.
Okay.
And use some flux capacitor tech.
Okay.
And let's go back in time to Hill Valley.
All right.
And please tell me, what was it like for you first day on the set? Do you have any memories of that?
I was nervous. I was very comfortable doing television, completely comfortable. That was a pleasure and no problem. But when I knew I was going to be in a movie, it just seemed like a much bigger deal to me. Yeah. I just thought every 2 hours it's going to be screening and I'm going to be like 50 feet tall. It's got to be something weird and different. And it's still acting. So, but I was nervous, definitely.
Yeah.
I was more self-conscious because I knew that, you know, an episode is over in an hour.
Right.
But a movie, I thought if I do a terrible job,
yeah,
it's going to be replaying 10 times every single day.
Right.
And everyone's going to see that I did a terrible job.
Which you didn't.
Thank God.
Of course you didn't.
Thank you.
Were you intimidated at all working with Michael J. Fox or James Tolkien?
No.
Okay.
No, I was never intimidated working with anybody because I always loved acting so much that I grew up with like Placido Domingo when I was in opera and Luciano and different people. So people of stature didn't intimidate me ever. I was accustomed to that.
Okay.
So for me, everyone's just a person, whether it's the garbage man or the biggest superstar on the planet.
Okay, cool.
I've never really affiliated one thing for another with people.
Okay. I loved Huey Lewis's part in the film, and tell me, how many Pinhead shows have you been to? Have you been to any Pinhead shows lately?
No. But you want to know something?
What?
I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know Huey Lewis in the news. I was sitting in the makeup chair, and there was a guy sitting next to me, and I whispered to Ken Chase, I'm like, who's that guy? And he goes, that's Huey Lewis. What's he doing here? Oh, he's going to play the principal or the teacher or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. And I thought, why is Michael so excited about this guy? And Michael had an album, and I was like,
yeah,
I had no idea, none.
That's funny.
I know.
Yeah, I love Huey. So, do you have a favorite '80s film or '80s band?
I grew up with opera and Simon and Garfunkel, and you'd have to name them, like a song.
Yeah.
Like
You're a
sing
trained
it.
operatic singer.
Yes.
And you started that at what age?
8. My first opera, I was 8. And then I was in 10 operas between the age of 8 and 12, and then a founding member of the San Francisco Girls Chorus.
You were so talented, multi-talented.
Thank
Would you like to sing something for us today?
I would not. Would you?
Okay. Only if we do it together.
I'll do it together.
Okay. What song would you like to sing
You
together right
choose.
now? Can I get back to you on that one? Yeah. Let me get back to you on that one.
I would have too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to turn you down.
Rain
so,
check.
Yes, please. Did you keep any keepsakes from the film? Any of your outfits from Back to the Future?
I didn't.
Okay.
The Clock Tower flyer, I have the original Clock Tower flyer.
Good.
And I have it in the same color, and I signed the back of it, I love you 555-4823, just like I did for Marty. That was my handwriting. So that's one of my favorite things to sign for fans.
That is awesome. I love that. So speaking of outfits and clothing, you own your own shop, your own clothing
I do.
store. Would you like
Armani
to tell me about
Wells.
that?
Yes, it's called Armani Wells in Studio City. It's high-end designer resale clothing for men because I think men deserve it. It's very expensive to wear a beautiful suit as a man.
Yeah.
If you want to wear something that's got great fabric, a great cut, you have to spend a lot of money, and I don't think that's fair. So when I was 25, I opened a high-end designer resale clothing store only for men, and I still have it. I still run it 28 and a half years later. And so I sell Armani, Versace, Canali, Zegna, Prada, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, even Chanel for men, everything from head to toe. It's current style only, perfect condition, except Versace. I have some beautiful vintage Versace. So I dress men. and make them stunning for like 20% of retail.
Okay, I want to take you up on that sometime.
Okay.
Do you have parachute pants?
I do not. You're very funny.
I was hoping you would.
What about the patch pocket pants, the 6 pocket pants?
I'll take those.
Painter pants.
I'll take one of those. Okay, so you're obviously multi-talented and you're into all sorts of things and you know, clothing. Do you do impersonations?
Non, mais je parle beaucoup de français. Si tu veux parler français, je peux faire ça.
Frank Sinatra to you too.
You're funny.
So your role is iconic as Jennifer Parker in the film, getting back to the Future. I know you had the chance to reprise that in video games. What was that like?
Yes, that was fantastic.
Okay.
I never thought I'd have that opportunity again to be Jennifer. I am so grateful and honored I got to do that. It was super fun. Chris was there too because he was the only other Back to the Future actor who was doing voiceovers, and I loved it. I thought for sure I was going to be like a voiceover actor from now on, and it didn't happen. I didn't try. I just thought it would happen. I thought the phone would start ringing off the hook. So I love doing voiceovers, and it's actually something I've always wanted to do.
Well, I hope you get to do more of it.
Hint, hint, hint,
Right?
hint, hint, hint.
Right? So give her a call. I bet she'll pick up the phone. Do you do any foreign films?
I don't, but I could. I speak fluent French.
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
Give her a call.
Hello.
Yeah. She might be available.
I close my store when I'm doing something that's acting or when I do a show that I really want to do, and my customers wait and they understand. They totally understand.
Really? You close your
Yes.
store from time to time?
I do.
Okay.
It's closed today and tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I'm here, and we put a sign up, and my customers get it.
That's cool. Well, Louisville, you are in for a treat because she has closed her store for the weekend and she is here to visit with you at the Alamo Draft House and also at the Premier Event Center in Louisville for the Dallas Comic Show and Fantasy Festival. Get your tickets at dallascomicshow.com. You'll see all the details. Will the DeLorean be here?
Yes. And I'm going to be taking pictures with fans in the DeLorean as well.
How exciting is that?
So exciting.
How many DeLoreans have you personally owned?
One of my greatest buddies in the world has a DeLorean, so I sort of have it at my disposal anytime I want it. I'm like, Fergie, can you bring the DeLorean to my car, to my store, because I need to do a photo op or I need to do a video, or so yeah.
That's a good friend.
He's a great friend.
Wow.
He's a great friend.
All right.
Usually if you see me do posts with DeLoreans, it's usually his.
Cool. Very cool. Okay, for the song,
Yeah.
you know, I was hoping you would serenade me, but but for the song, do you like? Well, what's your current playlist? Do you have somebody that you really like?
I don't go by names of people because
Okay.
I just like what I hear when I hear it. So I'm not the person to ask for that.
Okay.
Unless
All right.
it was like Elton John or something back in the day.
Back in the day. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
I like that.
Let's sing it.
You start.
This is where we probably should just thank Claudia Wells for joining us, and we will sing after we turn off this camera. And Claudia, I can't thank you enough for joining me today
Thank you
and
so
having
much.
and talking and reminiscing
So much
about
fun.
your career and everything. Oh, I forgot to ask you one other question. What are you doing now for the future? Are you doing more acting?
I want to do more acting. There's different parts. I'm supposed to be a queen in a fantasy film that films in a castle in Paris.
I'm down.
I know, me too.
Please invite me to the premiere.
I will.
Okay.
I will. I am open to acting. I'm not hunting it down. I'm not chasing it down, but I'm completely open to it because I still love it. It's still a passion of mine. And so I'm open when it comes to me. And so I run my store and I do acting and I do these shows. And
Well, Hollywood casting agents, please give Claudia more consideration because she is a delight And I know your fans are looking forward to seeing you this weekend. So
Thank
please come
you.
see Claudia Wells this weekend in Louisville at the Premier Convention Center, Event Center, I should say, and at the Alamo Draft House in Richardson. Claudia, thank you so much.
That was good. We did it the first time.
Yeah.
Usually I have to say, look at the elbow.